Welcome back to another episode of The Investment Advisor. I'm your host, Matthew Stevenson, in partnership with Dukascopy TV. Remember, money can take care of you. It cannot take care of itself. Today I thought we'd update a look that we did some weeks before on Berkshire Hathaway, and in particular Warren Buffett. Yes, Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, or whatever he's called in the financial press. But Warren Buffett started, developed, and ran Berkshire Hathaway, and has run Berkshire Hathaway for many decades, and has been and can easily be described as the most successful stock investor of the 20th century. So let's look at what makes him great. And as we're doing it, let's take a quick look at Berkshire Hathaway. Here's the A shares. There's a B share that's in the realm of prices that you might understand. But the A share sells at $213,000 for one share. Yeah, it's a lot of money to buy one share, but you get a lot behind it. It's also divided into a B share, which trades at, I don't know, something like $141 a share. What makes Warren Buffett great? What can you, and in your investment activities, learn from Mr. Buffett, and what makes him great? Let's start with some of the basics. He doesn't like overpaying for a stock, so he's always looking for value. Ideally, he'd like to buy $1 for 65 cents. Second, he buys companies that he thinks have captive markets. In some ways, they're not monopolies, but they're moving in that direction. It's hard for somebody to enter that business. Three, he likes buying companies where the management in place is very successful. He's not a dabbler. He's not looking over the shoulder of his managers. He might replace them, but he's looking for managers who are competent, who are professional, who understand the business of generating superior returns. Where did Buffett gain his experience? Grew up in Washington, D.C., also partly in the Midwest, lives in Omaha now. Delivered newspapers, collected Coke bottles as a young man, was a stock analyst, studied under Benjamin Graham. And if you want to really dig into what makes Buffett a great investor, read the works of Benjamin Graham. He was a professor but also an investor in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, and he preached value investing. How successful has Buffett been? Well, on a compounded basis, the Standard & Poor's, that's the S&P, has returned 9% roughly per annum, year on year in growth. Buffett's companies, Berkshire Hathaway, almost 20%. So double the return of the S&P. That's a very successful record. The concern you might have, thinking, are you going to put down $213,000 for Berkshire Hathaway? Mr. Buffett's 85 years old and his partner is 91, so management has to be a concern. Well, that's all the time we have today on The Investment Advisor. I'm your host, Matthew Stevenson, in partnership with Dukascopy TV. Remember, money can take care of you. It cannot take care of itself.